Other committee reports. Finance Committee, Mr. Horton.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we met twice this month. The first time was on the 10th, I believe was the date on it. We came up with a list of appropriations. I think everybody was at that meeting, so I'll direct your attention to the first line, $17,000 for a camera system. We're going to push that decision back to July while we gather some more information on that. But the rest of that list, equipment, the $35,000. Jerry, what was that one for, Mr. Mack? Tractor. Put some money in the fire truck fund, vehicles for the police department, and a vehicle for the airport. The Finance Committee voted to approve that and recommend it to the full council. We do that now in the form of a motion.
You have heard the proposal and the motion. All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Item 2, we recommend to the full council that we appropriate $5,000 of sales tax money into the aquatic center fund in case any administrative expenses arise, just to have a little bit of money in case something comes up. We recommend that in the form of a motion.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We did another appropriation from the Capital Parks Fund, $33,000 for Hickey Park, $41,000 for Russellville Trails. That is for backstops and to match a grant that we got for Orbit Lane. We recommend that in the form of a motion.
You have heard the recommendation. All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
The committee recommends $7,000 for water expense that we expect to have later this year for the soccer fields. We recommend that in the form of a motion.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor of that recommendation say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. McCoy bid out our city accounts for deposits. We recommended continuing our banking services with Centennial Bank on that. That's in the form of a motion.
All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We met again tonight. We passed 4 appropriations. 2 are capital. We have one for the police department for some furniture. A pass-through to City Corp for a 2005 Chevy pickup that we sold in our citywide auction, and some money to the Police Youth Academy. Those are items 1 through 4 in your packets. The committee voted to pass those as a group. If it's the council's pleasure, we can divide those out, but it was recommended in a group in the form of a motion.
We have a motion on items 1 through 4 in that regard. All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Our 5th item is a line item transfer, moving some money around within the city attorney's accounts to match what he needs to do to pay his assistants, pay for personnel. We recommend that in the form of a motion.
You have heard the motion and the recommendation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Items 6 and 7, we passed together. We can split those if the council wishes, but it's authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter an agreement with eCivis, Grant Research and Management Services. I think everybody heard that discussion. We can go into it further, but the Finance Committee recommends that in the form of a motion.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Item 8, we had a discussion on the capital improvements project extending Reasoner Lane. There's no money to be appropriated at this time, but we had the discussion and wanted to put it in the record. And item 9, Mr. Irwin, remind me, was your number on that 6% even?
Yes, it was.
The Finance Committee recommended that we set an interest rate of 6% for installment payments from a person that we had a lien on their property for cleanup. and the committee recommends that in the form of a motion.
All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And that is all we have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Stuber, is there any report from the personnel committee?
Yes, Mayor, we did meet, and we have 2 items here for your consideration. The first one is amending the personnel policy, uniform and personal appearance policy, and that's here in your packet. And the second one is consideration of a request of approval to change the civilian position to a certified police officer. The chief has his evidence room person is presently a civilian, and she's moving on to a different job elsewhere, and the chief wants to replace that person with a uniformed police officer because he says that a uniformed police officer can do other things that a civilian can't do. And at this point in time, there's no additional cost. Isn't that right, Chief?
Are you making that
Yes,
in the
yes,
form
I'm-
of a motion
yes,
for
I'm-
these
I'll make
2
both of
items?
those in form of a motion. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
You all have heard the motion. All those in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, that's amending ordinance. We're going to have to suspend the rules.
Okay. On the one, that will be
Number 1.
amending an ordinance on number 1 there. So we will have to take
Suspend.
back one step and amend that by asking for,
Suspension
So
of the
moved.
rules.
yeah,
Let's
suspend the rules. Mhm.
Read one time by title only.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Attorney.
Mr. Martin Irwin seconded.
Was there, who seconded it?
Mr.
Mr.
Irwin.
Martin Irwin.
Okay. All right, all those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
An ordinance amending sections of the City of Russellville Personnel Policy Manual and for other purposes. This ordinance passed would amend the current City of Russellville Personnel Policy Manual, which is approved by ordinance number 2091. It would amend it regards to section V, paragraph 5, page 38, concerning uniform and personal appearance. A copy of the amendment is attached thereto, incorporated by reference.
All right.
Move we adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt. Any other discussion? All those in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. There is,
Call the roll.
yes. All those who have made that vote, go ahead, Ms. Collins, and call the roll.
Mr. Stuber,
Yes.
Mr. Martin Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Richard Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Seth Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Tripp,
Yes.
Ms. Freddie Harris. Yes. Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Horton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay.
Motion to approve emergency clause.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the emergency clause.
You have a
Second.
second?
All right, we have a second. Any discussion regarding that? All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Collins?
Mr. Martin Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Horton,
Yes.
Mr. Richard Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Seth Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Tripp,
Yes.
Ms. Freddie Harris. Yes. Mr. Stuber,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you, lady and gentlemen.